In today's first reading, we hear of the probable origins of Christianity in the country of Ethiopia. So Christianity was likely brought to that country by the main character in today's first reading, who was a member of the Queen's court, and he was convinced of the legitimacy of Christ after reading the book of the prophet Isaiah, specifically Isaiah chapter 53. If you want your mind to be blown, read Isaiah 53. The whole book of Isaiah, but especially chapter 53, is often considered the fifth gospel because it's very similar to the four gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So the prophecies about Jesus in the book of Isaiah are so clear and so accurate that you would think that the author of the book of Isaiah was written by a friend of Jesus. But what's interesting is that Isaiah was written 500 years before Jesus ever walked the earth. So that's pretty cool. But my point in bringing this up is not just to tell you something cool, something interesting, but to make the point that prophecies in general, but prophecies like the ones in the book of Isaiah that talk about the lamb led to the slaughter and things like that, they help reassure us that God is in control, despite the situations in our lives that seem chaotic. So, for example, when Jesus was born, shortly afterwards, the Holy Family had to flee to Egypt because the child Jesus was being hunted down. Egypt was like the last place they wanted to go, likely, because they didn't know the language. It was a foreign people, foreign culture. Joseph needed to start from the ground up and support the Holy Family. So for Mary and Joseph, those years in Egypt were likely some of the most chaotic years of Jesus' childhood. But we're told that all of that took place to fulfill prophecy. So from Mary and Joseph's perspective, things looked to be completely out of hand. But from God's perspective, things were going exactly as planned, as if it was drawn up in the original blueprint. Are our lives in a chaotic mess today? You bet. So at times, things will seem like they're out of control. And if so, let the prophecies of Jesus be a reminder, again, that God is totally capable of using even the most chaotic situations to bring about his divine will.